What up, Schmoedown Rockers? Well, full-on tournament season is official. Now that the collision is officially, you know, happened and stuff. And now at least it's more clear what the brackets are in terms of who is. And so far, first match of that tournament officially finally comes out and starts. And yes, it's enough to, at least for the time being, until the championship match. Because that's the one that's going to determine whether or not you see me wearing this again the rest of the season. Until we get some belts. Yeah. Anyways, the Parker versus Swift, the moment I realized it was Swift, given his, especially even more so given his recent match with Whit Naben, yeah, I wasn't expecting Swift to pull it all that much. Or at least pull off a well enough match to not get TKO'd. Because he got TKO'd, I think, so. Yep, which isn't a surprise. It's just another, which only adds more for him. I do think he'll have a slightly easier road in this case. This year, I think, Parker will, but we'll see who on the other side it'll be. Since right now, from what the brackets are looking like on the IG side, it's looking to me like we are having to deal with either Oyama or apparently even Irwin. The only thing about it that makes sense is, having been a guy who helped produce the Ninja Turtle movies in the 90s and The Matrix. Is enough credibility to say he knows his nerdy stuff. His not a certain amount of IG, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know about him beating Oyama, since Oyama this time around, as opposed to what happened in singles. But yeah. But we'll see how he plays. Because if somehow he beats Oyama, because we haven't seen an IG gameplay from him necessarily. So it's going to be interesting. And since he's part of Usual Suspects, it's a possibility what helped lead him to being on there might also have been Amaru might have helped in that regard with him, or at least because that's why they probably didn't put Whit Naben, because Whit Naben didn't do well in either of his enough in either of his match, even with the recent match, to bother to put him in there. With the way Yama played, he'd have gotten stomped out anyway. But I do feel like Oyama might have more of a shot, but we don't know what Ethan can fully pull off. So that's the only thing with who he's going to face, and I forgot what the other bracket is. To be honest, rest of the bracket is honestly at this point, because it's not as clearly as much of concern. Desert Master spoken. Aside from maybe Saul and Hannah. Yeah. There was another one, but I don't, yeah. Yeah. But anyways, the other matches. Round 1 continues on in the singles tournament. I guess they're holding off on Star Wars until or at least releasing those until the follow-up matches, I guess. Unless they're just going to go through the IG tournament, and then once that's close to finished up, they're going to show off the Star Wars tournament probably. And then eventually I think the teams will come next, because the singles tournament's going to be super long. So more than likely, I don't even know what the bracket is for singles. They didn't even show it. It's ridiculous. I think they need to now, but like they got a little ridiculous with how they handled the bracket situation, because now people can't even bet on the recent matches they made. So for the way the brackets have been, so and it's so far we've seen it was Bibbs versus Jacob London, the Aussie himself, mainly because of the story from Free For All that had happened. This was a follow-up to that. And yeah, that if Bibbs didn't have this, he needed this win more than London, but London hasn't had like the best. This hasn't been a great rookie season in London's case, despite the free for all moment in and of itself. Since but it almost seemed like he had more of a shot, but then he kind of screwed himself, I think, in the round 2, I think, and that which cost him a point or a steal in that one. So, yeah, that didn't help him much in that case. Given how Bibbs was going to perform regardless, so what can you do? And then that leads us to a bigger bummer on my end, because I mean, good for the Boston Badass, but poor Jader. I'm not going to see him for the rest of the season. Unless they put him in a teams match of some kind, but that's about. But I don't think they have anyone to partner up with him now, since, well, the one that we were going to have partnered, that they were going to plan for with him, would have been Del Rio, which I think Del Rio is going to be in this tournament. Kaiser beats Yedel and Witt at this point. Would be silly not to put him in the tournament. Especially after last season's tournament match between him and Chance, which finally Chance had a chance to get out of his round 1 funk, but it didn't matter with having, I guess, having faced Liz Shannon Miller, was it? Yeah, it was Liz Shannon Miller, and that didn't. Oh boy. And that became a sort of an interesting story in of itself, but it's not looking like Liz's luck is going as well as it had with Swag, I think, within the suspects. But aside from maybe teams, but it's, I don't know. How I'm surprised, like, 51 without the hand. Anyways, that, I'm sorry, man. That I couldn't have gotten the fight partner. I just said the same thing. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm sorry, man. That sucked. That was a nice, close enough match, and was good enough to hold over that day before the Schmoedown versus matchup. Y'all know. Yeah. But anyway, sorry, I'm blanking on that. But anyways, these tournament matches so far, tournament season's going pretty interestingly. Even though, yeah, we're still dealing with digital for the time being in those regards, except maybe some matches will be in studio, but it seems they're doing it in masks, and it seems it's going over well despite this, which is good. At least they still have that, and it seems like things might get, it's just more California's issue, it seems, but hopefully some people are still going to get a chance to go see Spectacular then, and I wish I could go, but it's a too far away situation, and I know California is expensive as hell, and with the way things have been going right now, with the way they've been handling the pandemic over there, yeah, I'm not really too keen on going right now over there. So chances are I might be able to handle doing the one thing for Bateman in Chicago if I can just find some people to go with. Because I'm at least going to get the VIP. They don't have to, but I will. Or at least the low end of it if I have to. But regardless of that, well, now, aside from Parker doing his thing, now we just got to hope Danger Zone does their thing too. And makes it at least to the... And they all get to their... Like, I need it more so dangerous because I'm tired of Bateman not getting a fucking team's belt. It's kind of exhausting, but regardless. And we were this close to the promised land, you know? But corruption did that, but corruption couldn't even get the job done. I mean, though if we wind up having to face them in the tournament, it's gonna fucking suck. Figure that, but anyways, what did you guys think of those matches? I'd asked for predictions, but by the time I recorded this, it already happened, so forget it. Well, the question is, will this wind up being one of the last times you will see me wear the shirt? Maybe you could put that in the comment section. Chances are there will already been an answer. Comment below, let me know. As always, guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. If you smell what the movie trivia Schmoedown rocks. Let's go entertainment and so on and so forth. Is cooking. And also links in the description to my Facebook page. Like, follow me there. Also, if you like this video, rock that like button with thrust and you must. So hit the subscribe bell, click notifications, and while you're also at it in there, there's a link description to the dungeon page, which is also the home. Hopefully not the last time I'm going to have to say this. Well, with five time movie trivia Schmoedown, champion of the world, Dangerous Dan Merle. Now, can you dig that, suckers? Because as far as I'm concerned, ooh, yeah, dig it. Dungeon